Well, today I thought I'd show you what the new reality is. And that's pretty cool, you know. The only problem you have with this is you can't tell if your guy's a friend of yours, a bank robber, or a serial killer. But this is going to be the new reality for a while. You know, I used to make, maybe 6 months ago, I would make fun of somebody if I saw them walking down the street wearing a mask like this. I'd say, oh, there's a germophobic. And then you find out they were wearing a mask because they had the flu or they had a cold and they didn't want to get anybody else sick. Now you wear it to keep everybody else from getting anything you might have that you don't know you have, you know. I gotta take this off, it's a little uncomfortable in the house. Oops, there we go. Wait a minute, there goes my glasses. Oh, okay, here we go, yeah. So that's going to be a sort of new reality, I think. I don't know for sure yet. How come my hat's on crooked? I can't figure this hat out. This hat drives me nuts, man. It's like it's a Colombian hat, you know, and it's like crooked. I'm sorry, it's crooked. I don't care what anybody says. It's crooked. It's crooked. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Okay, we have to try and fix this. Anyhow, I think you're going to see a lot of that. I went out this morning to walk the dog, and I forgot that I didn't have it on, you know, and there's a bunch of guys down there saying, in the parking lot saying, hey, you got to where's your mask? And I said, oh, in the house, you know. They're not wearing one. So I said, yeah, but he says they point outside the parking lot. And I guess it's sort of a rule now. You have to wear one. 'Cause I saw everybody today was wearing them, you know, or they go by you, they pull it up, you know. But I hope it makes people safe. As I said, I'm hoping everybody's right. And letting everybody go back to work and doing everything like that. I hope everybody's right, because if they're not, you just kill a generation of people, you know. I'm one of the high at-risk people. If I didn't have a dog, I wouldn't be allowed out of the house. I think I said that in one of my other videos. I'm 74 years old, therefore they let me, you know, have a dog. If you have a dog, you can go anywhere, and nobody will stop you. If you don't have a dog, you might get stopped some places, and they'll check your ID to see what what they call the cellular says. And if you have the wrong number, you get fined. You know, people don't like that. Let's see. My wife said that there was a long line at the store today, the supermarket, to get in, because you had to they were making you step on something to wash your feet, and then they were taking your temperature before they let you in the store. Again, this could be the new reality. I don't know. I read where the most dangerous part of shopping is the checkout line, because everybody's standing close together and everybody's in a hurry and pushing and shoving and they want to get out. And, you know, but I think that what went on, I don't know, did you got, you know, speaking of stuff like this, you read that story in Michigan where the armed protesters went into the state hall because they wanted to get out? And I looked at these people and I said, these people ain't going to work. These people want you to go to work so that they can get their welfare benefits and buy their chewing tobacco and get their chewing tobacco and have some alcohol for their still, you know what I mean? But that was kind of stupid. You know, people that are protesting like that to get out. I don't know. You can't really do much about it, though. You know, I've tried to figure out how a way they could charge the president with murder if people listen to him and they go out and they get sick and they die. You know, but then again, you can't charge people for being stupid. It's not allowed, which is kind of, you know, sad, because I mean there'd be a whole lot of people in jail if that was the case. Because stupidity is I don't know if it's stupidity or what. It's irrational thought. They think we're crazy for listening to listening to the news because they think the news is wrong, and we think they're crazy for not listening to anybody. I guess they use the example of their president. Well, look at him. He's president. He doesn't listen. He doesn't read any intelligence reports or anything like that. And we're not at war or anything. Everything's fine. Well, I have no idea what would be going on right now if the rest of the world wasn't, suffering from this pandemic and trying to keep their armies from collapsing and their navies from collapsing and everything else. I have no idea what's going on. I would assume that at some point in time, people are going to get back to being, the pissed off individuals that they are, and there'll be conflict everywhere again. I think that's the sad thing. I think crime and conflict will come back faster than normalcy. When I say normalcy, I mean the economies and everything like that. I can't see. What they say, 30 million people out of work or something like that. Some ridiculous number that I can't fathom. I can't see them. They push a button. Okay, the country's going back tomorrow. They're not all going to work. Some of them don't want to go to work. They'll lose their unemployment benefits if they don't go back to work. If they're called back and they don't go back to work. But people are afraid to go back to work. They've seen the videos of these people that are sick. They've watched these. I don't need to see that. I had the hell do they call it? They call it Novo virus. I had that about 10 years ago. It's an intestinal flu. It would knock out 200 or 300 kids in a school in one day. It knocked me out I went to the Christmas patch. The kid got sick at the Christmas patch, and I was working as the maintenance man at the time, and I had to go clean it up. And I ran up on the stage and I cleaned it up while they're still performing. And I went home about 9. About 1 o'clock in the morning, I was in the bathroom, and I spent the next worst 19 hours of my life. I couldn't tell you which end it was coming out faster. And I lost like 11 pounds or something like that, right? And it's just, and they say this is worse, and I can't imagine it being worse than that, but, I'm also, besides being old, I also have diabetes and high blood pressure, so theoretically, if I get the virus, I'll be dead in a couple of weeks, so make a lot of people happy, You look at it this way: you wouldn't have to listen to the old guy sitting here rambling on about stuff, forgetting what he was talking about and starting new conversations while he's in the middle of one and going into another one, Cappuccino. The wife knows how to make a good cappuccino, that's for sure. So what else can we talk about? I think we talked about sports and concerts and stuff like that. I just can't see 71,000 people getting together again. And no, there was an article on CNN today about what happens if there isn't a vaccine for this, and this is the new reality. And I said, well, I don't know what I don't think we've ever had that. They said we've had situations like this in the past where they couldn't find a vaccine, and I'm going, wow, that could be I don't know what they do. They just come up with treatment plans to keep the people alive, like with the flu, I think I said this too in one of my other videos. I got a shot before I came down here for pneumonia. 23 different types of variants of pneumonia it protects me against, and because I was over 60 at the time, I only have to get it once in my lifetime. I think you have to get it 2 or 3 times if you're a young person. And I looked at this, and I looked at a lot of the symptoms and problems with the coronavirus, and I'm saying, this might not be a bad idea. It's probably not going to keep you from getting the virus, but it might keep the symptoms to a minimum, and might save your life down the road. don't know. I don't know whether anybody's researched it that, and I haven't read anything about it. The way they are with medicines, if it right now they tell you if they invent a medicine and a year later it's out of date. I don't know. I used to get penicillin for strep throat, get the shot, the next day be back up and ready to go to work. Now I can't take penicillin anymore because they say it doesn't work anymore. They've got a new drug they give you. It's more expensive, and they give it to you, and it's supposed to do the job, and you're now better protected, and I don't believe that. It's like it's a new Apple phone every year or so. What's new in it? I mean, what could you possibly want with a phone? I mean, people want to do all this crazy stuff on the phone. They want to be able to do all their banking and everything else. And unless you have a highly encrypted phone, it's not safe to use. People can basically, there's a program, and you'd have to know where to get it. I don't know where to get it, but I've seen and heard of it. There's an app or a program for your phone that allows you to just walk by the phone next to you and clone it. And there you get the information. Well, you said, you don't have all their passwords. I said, well, half these people don't close their passwords down. They just turn their phone off with the app open. And it saves the password. You can go back in and do it anytime you want. People are stupid. I have a bunch of passwords for everything I do. They're annoying as hell. I mean, the computer password I have has to be done every time I open up the computer. But I don't know. Anyhow, this lifestyle change we're going through, it's saying that more people are using cell phones now because as a computer, because they want to be able to communicate with everybody, and getting up and going to a desk is hard. People are working from home now. There were always options to do that. There's not enough productivity and whatnot. Well, if you're paying somebody and you've got 10 people want that job, and that person doesn't do it, you fire them. Fire them for cause they don't get unemployment. It's as simple as that. I don't know the laws with productivity quotas and stuff like that. I'm not familiar with that, so I really couldn't tell you. But I do know that I think a lot of people are finding out they're more productive from home. They save money on childcare, pet sitters, pet walkers. Do they not get stuff done? I don't know. I haven't heard anything like that. I've read articles where surprisingly, and in most of the positions, is that they've gotten more work done. I don't know. I know my niece is out the door at 5 o'clock in the morning walking her dog, and then she comes back and she goes to work. And she works, 5, 6 o'clock, sometimes later, because she deals with international business, so she's, these people are up all times and all hours, so, but hey, I'm all for that, working from home. Companies will make more money, people will make more money, they lose their transportation costs, they lose their child care, dog walkers, whatever, and they can still make they can still go out and have a dinner meeting or something like that, their business meeting outside. It's just that their office is their house now, and I guess if you're given tasks and you complete them, you're done. Speaking of doing tasks and being done, I started out today just to show you what it's the new reality, and I've gone off on another one of my tangents. I'm just a rambling old man, but I'm cool, trust me. Anyhow, that's it. I'll talk to you maybe tomorrow, who knows.